Hey, what's up YouTube? So today I'm going to go over pretty much about what skill we should be using because I get this question a lot in stream, like should I be using EK? Should I be using Spark? Should I be using Arc? Or should I be using Winter Orb even? So we'll go through some of the pros and cons of each of the skill and what we should be using. And I actually tried out Winter Orb yesterday, and let's just say all my gems are in the tab right here. So I'll give you a conclusion about what I think about Winter Orb, because in the previous leagues, I would have Winter Orb as the best aura stacking skill, but we'll see about how it is now. So basically, yesterday on stream, I spent a lot of time doing ace-ling research to try to get the unveil for my boots. I finally got it, and I got percent movement speed and 12% increased movement speed if you haven't been hit recently. And I personally believe this mod is better than the 35% movement speed mod. So it's actually crazy that we got this, and then we use a lucky divine with the harvest, and we actually got a pretty nice divine in. Could be better, but getting the effective tailwind is pretty important, so I'm happy it's 25%. And then you can currently see that it has crafted percent ES. Now, if it was up to me, I would probably switch it over to cannot be frozen and get a better Watcher's Eye. But in order to get a better Watcher's Eye than what I currently have would be a colossal feat. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. But anyhow, in this video, just going to go over skill usage, some quick upgrade paths. Because a lot of people ask about what should I do to upgrade next, and I wanted to go over quickly how you could upgrade your gear to get more ES and more aura effectiveness if we're not at 300% yet. So anyhow, I'm going to start with the gear overview like usual, and let's get into it. So again, like the previous videos, my gear has stayed mostly relatively the same. At this point, it's very expensive to buy the upgrades. I did add the boots in, and the boots are actually a pretty big thing to add in, because it changes everything to have this rare pair of boots. Normally, I would have Void Walkers, and Void Walkers would give me Pierce, right, if I've killed recently. But because I no longer have Void Walkers, I have to find somewhere to get Pierce in. So the solution is to use Anomalous Spark. Now, Anomalous Spark's alternate quality is it gives you 2 additional Pierce, and 2 additional Pierce is honestly enough with the Explode Gloves and Herald of Ice to kill everything. So as long as you have some Pierce, it's okay. And I haven't really noticed a big change in like playstyle by using Anomalous Spark and not having 5 Pierce. The biggest change is probably not having phasing, and you could probably solve that if you use the Abyss Jewel with phasing on kill, but I just thought that was unnecessary for now. It is kind of annoying not having phasing, but it's not the end of the world. But these boots have some chaos res on them, so my chaos res is actually getting better. I think it's at negative 6%, and then with a few more AUG chaoses on the, what's it called, the cluster jewels, will be at positive in no time. So you can see the low life is very easy to get chaos res, so the gap between low life and CI is a little bit smaller there. So anyhow, we still have the same Archdemon crown. I'm going to try to recraft this today on stream. So the problem with this helm is I need +2 on the auras. So there's a +2 AoE gem unveil, and I need to get that in order to put the purities in here. Because the purities needs to be level 21 +2, so they need to be level 23. And I can't corrupt these boots to get +2, right? And I don't have an alpha sal for +2. So this helm pretty much needs +2, or I won't be able to put Empower and Smite and Discipline in here, which is where they'll get the benefit to the auras. So it's actually kind of unfortunate that I have to run this setup like this. So, because I'm pretty much wasting a +4 on this pair of gloves because I'm putting it with purities, and purities doesn't scale past like 21. And right now it's not even a +2 duration, so it is actually horrible. But so once we get this +2, we can move the power and smite over to this area and discipline, so we can have a level 25 discipline or a level 27 with empower in. And the difference between a level 20 and 27 discipline is huge. So currently I'm rocking a level 20 discipline, so there's going to be a lot of ES gained once we switch it over. But this Ace-Ling Unveil is pretty annoying to hit, and I'm going to show you real fast like, how you could actually look this up. The PoEDB is a very useful site. You go to mod here, and then you go to helmet. And PoEDB is a little better than Craft of Exile because it shows stuff a lot quicker. because I'm not really sure. I think it just like parses the API or the game files or something like that. But you go here, you see veiled prefix. So each time you add a veiled mod on here, you have a chance to get 3 things. So you can see there's a lot of veiled prefixes, so it's not guaranteed at all. So in order to do this helm, I would actually have to fill out the prefix, the suffix. So I have to add a suffix, and then I would have to unveil. So here, the ones that are good are +2 AoE gems, which would affect the purities, and +2 projectile gems, which would give us the pierce. And this pierce would be pretty good because it would give us the 3 pierce, and it would feel a lot better to play with than 2. But even if I don't get that, I guess physical damage from hits taken as fire damage is not too bad. But overall, +2 AoE gems is what we are really aiming for, and it will solve our ES issue. Because I don't know if you've seen in our previous videos, we had a lot more ES, and now we're down to 4,074. But basically, that's how the gear's going on for me. It's kind of a struggle to get the +2, farming more acelings. This amulet I will eventually recraft over to Vitality with what's it called, multi. I actually Leo exalted this amulet to get 21 int, so I actually have 46 int on this amulet. So very strong amulet. And then this Call of the Brotherhood's still the same. It's actually insane how expensive the Call of the Brotherhoods and other unique pieces of gear are getting that have corruptions on them. Like the Intuitive Leap RMR, which I currently do not have, is 34 exalts, and Mighty the Meek is like 11 exalts. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for the upgrade path, because there's still a lot of upgrades to get, but at this point everything costs like 30-40 exalts, and Voices 3 will be a good upgrade, and that's like 50 exalts. And we just don't make money that fast this league. There's no like crazy money making method unless I'm crafting or flipping items. Flipping items is probably the best profit, honestly. If you flip items, you buy them during the day and sell them at night. There's a huge price discrepancy every day. But we keep getting back to our gear. Overall, everything's the same. We still have the same shield, same chest. This is not going to get replaced. Hands of the High Templar, I'm actually looking to buy a new pair. But as I say again, there's just so many pieces to get and so little money. So just need to farm a lot more, find a better farming method that's more consistent. Probably divide the Nebulous a little bit today. And the cluster jewels are pretty much all the same. I'm still using these ones. These ones have gotten very expensive. I think the base for a 6 passive skill one now is like 6-7 exalts, and it was pretty much only 1.5x like 3 days ago. But I don't know if it's because of these videos or because people are realizing that these are actually OP clusters compared to using these 4.1s now that the first amount of replenishing are nerfed. So if you can, probably try to get your hands on these. These are very limited in supply. So if you go here and look at 30 or I-84 clusters, the I-84 clusters are pretty much 5.5x. But if you look at the amount of supply of them, it's pretty low. And each person will probably use like 6 or 7 of these, or 5 to 7 of these. And once you run out of supply for these, it's going to be really hard to farm them because they're I-84, which means that you have to actually use a +1 watchstone like one of these in order to get it to be an 84 zone, and then you have to run delirium on the map. So I would highly advise people to start buying these clusters before they go through the roof. I should have probably stressed it more when they were like 1.5 to 2x, because they were just incredibly underpriced at that point. I actually have like 4 of them saved up, I think, right? 84, 84, 84. This was 83. Yeah, but I have a few saved up, so hopefully I can roll some with the flat ES, but it's turning out to be quite a struggle. But anyhow, let's go into what skill I should be using. So every league I kind of get baited into trying out a new skill, pretty much every league. This league I tried out Winter Orb for the first time, and you can see in this clip here that the clear is not too bad. It does not have the same coverage as Spark, but it's pretty fast and it's a pretty nice playstyle, not having to worry about ever casting and just running through the map. The boss damage is okay, it's nothing to write home about, but it gets the job done, right? And overall, it is very enjoyable to play if you're just running through a straight line map. The only issue with Winter Orb is that Ultimatum is just feels really bad compared to Spark. And I don't know if this is a factor of Spark. I mean, it's mainly a factor of Spark being OP compared to every other skill in the game. Like Winter Orb is okay and all, but you can see it just does not have the same clear and same kill potential as Spark, because it doesn't shoot out in a radius around you. It can only hit an area at a time. And without the ult explode, it is not enough to full clear the whole room. So overall, Spark is still vastly superior to Winter Orb. Winter Orb also has the fact that you need to use an Awakened GMP and Dying Sun, so you won't be able to use Aziri's Promise. And if anyone wanted to play Winter Orb, all you have to do is you swap out faster projectiles for Awakened GMP, and you swap out Spell Echo for Infused Channeling, and that's pretty much the only gem swaps you will need. And Infused Channeling just makes it so you get a buff if you channel the skill that gives you more damage, I think. But overall, it's pretty much a playstyle choice, but the Ultimatum just makes it such a vast difference that I don't think anything can ever compete with Spark. Now, while we're talking about on the topic of skill choices, there's also Arc, and there's also EK. So let me go to Healing Ninja real fast, so we can see what type of skills people are using for Aura Stacker. So we have Nebulous. Let's put on Nebulous and Shavs, right? Because that's like what most people use it with. And Ascendant. So here we can see the skill breakdown. Spark is number 1 by far at 65%, and EK 17%, Arc 8%, and some people are even playing Stormbrand. Now EK, you can see that most people will probably be using a Malagaros because it is hard to get crit multi on EK because you can't get double multi jewels. So like you can see this person is not using, what's it called, Malagaros. Well, it's actually pretty interesting. This guy's using some interesting gloves. Is there a Socrates gems have 16% more attack and cast speed? I guess this person is using the gloves because they want to use, they're still using Fist Lightning. It's actually very weird. Unless this Socket Gems thing has some interaction with Vol Haste, I don't really know why you would use it. But who knows? Something to look into. What if this thing actually worked with Vol Haste? That's actually something that I'll probably try in the on stream today. But anyhow, like I was saying, you can see that these jewels are all multiplier for spells because there's no such thing as multiplier for physical spells. So that's why EK is a lot harder to scale the damage in the end, even though it is easy at the onset. Because EK benefits from Hatred. Because if you look at what Hatred says, oh, this guy has a Hatred Watcher's Eye actually. But basically, let's see if you can put Hatred up here. Basically, Hatred scales your physical damage component and then the cold damage component. So it gives you extra cold as Fizz, and then it scales the cold damage as more. So it's like a double scaling thing, and you can also run Herald of Purity, which is a more damage multiplier for Fizz. So that's why EK has some pretty good damage at the start. Now EK, you lose Intuitive Leap and you have to use Ring of Blades. This is probably not the biggest loss considering Intuitive Leap RMR is 34x. So this is actually not a bad budget option. And then most people play EK to use 4 large clusters. This person uses 3 because he takes a lot of extraneous nodes. And also, let's see, EK, you can see that they don't need to run Malevolence Aura. And since they don't need to run Malevolence Aura, they can run an extra Aura, or you just don't need to worry about it at all, so you have better RMR, or you don't need as many RMR jewels. So this person's probably running Aspect of the Avian. But if you look at other builds, like Arc is even more budget, because this person has to, a lot of people who play EK, right, they have to use a Watcher's Eye that has Wrath conversion. So you can see this one has 38% of physical damage converted to lightning damage while affected by Wrath. But Arc doesn't even need to worry about that. Arc is the best or easiest skill to make it work at the start. Now it's not the best clear. It's probably not better clear than EK, but Arc is extremely easy to get off the ground. You don't need to use Malevolence. You don't need to worry about buying a Watcher's Eye. But in the end, its clear is a lot worse than EK and Spark. And it's just undeniable. But it is also undeniable that Arc is the best beginner skill because you don't need to worry about a lot of miscellaneous things. You don't need to worry about the Malevolence Aura. and you don't need to worry about the Watcher side or getting anomalous Fizz to Lightning. But in the end, everyone should try to swap to Spark as soon as possible. Spark is by far the best. Being able to swap over early on is a lifesaver. And this is my guy. Like, all you have to do is you have to run Malevolence. You need to find a way to fit Malevolence in order to swap the Spark. And that's pretty much the main thing. But getting an extra gem link is very hard. So like right now, a lot of people ask me, oh, I don't have a Hatred Call of the Brotherhood. What should I do? The thing you should do is you should use this amulet and craft one with Vitality on it. So you save a gem socket. So you can see like this person here has an amulet with Vitality. So that's why he's able to run the same amount even though he has less. He doesn't have a Hatred Call of the Brotherhood. But this person has a Wrath one. This guy actually has extra skill, so I wonder where he put his extra skill, right? But this guy is in power, so that's why it's important to get all of these gem sockets on our implicits, because this guy is able to empower his discipline. Like in order for me to do it, I will have to get the amulet sooner or later with Vitality, unless I get super lucky with another Call of the Brotherhood for cheap or a Grace Implicit Shield. So in the end, the name of the game is to try to get auras on our implicits if possible, and that is what will allow us to swap to skills faster, like EK to Spark or Arc to Spark. And Winter Orb in the end is probably playable if you really like the playstyle. Its single target will leave much to be desired as it's a cold skill and doesn't benefit from like Wrath conversion or that much of hatred scaling from Fizz. But it's a very fast clearing skill, and if you don't do ultimatums, then I highly recommend you play it. If you do ultimatums, then everyone should make a beeline to Spark, as there's just no other option that's even comparable. Now for upgrade paths, a lot of people ask me like, what should I do? What should I upgrade? The main thing I feel like people should focus on is to craft the helm. The helm will give you a good amount of energy shield, and the important thing about the helm is that if you look at the price of Awakener's orbs right now and Maven orbs, let's go check it out right now. Now this might change later on when you're watching the video, but let's see. Maven orbs and Awakener's orbs are really extremely cheap right now. Like Awakener's orb is 2 exalts, and how much is Maven orb? Maven's orb is like 2.5. Like you can guarantee, I can guarantee you this will go up over time. So because of this, I think it is imperative to actually end up crafting the helm really early on. You get some multi on it, and then you can also get 7% reservation. But most importantly, it can give you a lot of ES. Like look at this helm, it has 157 ES. Now if you don't want to use an Archdemon crown, you can use a hubris, so you can forego the exposure. You can get like 270 ES on a piece of gear, and that's absolutely massive because 270 ES is probably more than all of our pieces combined besides the shafts. So getting another full items worth of ES is extreme value. But more importantly is that the helm gives us a lot of damage with multi. It will allow us to use different pair of boots one day if you can get the +2 of Aceling. And most importantly, it is cheap to craft right now because of the cost of Maven's Orb and Awakener's Orb. So the helm should definitely be one of the top priorities for everyone to make if you want to keep Malagaros, because trying to get more ES is really hard, and the helm is a really easy solution. And with the price of what Awakener's Orbs and Maven's Orbs are right now, you can make the helm for a lot cheaper than what it will be down like a couple weeks down the line. But besides that, I mean, all the other gear I feel like at this point will probably stay around the same or go up maybe a little bit more. Like most of these unique jewels are so expensive at the moment that I think I could see Might of the Meek if you wanted to upgrade it to getting to like 15 to 20 exalts. But overall, you should try to focus on the helm. You can also try to use Hands of the High Templar. This is another good source of ES. Problem with Hands of the High Templar is you need to find a way to get an extra gem slot. And before, you could get the level 23 Grace skill shield really cheap, but nowadays is a big issue. The level 23 Grace shield is like 20-30 exalts. Let me see how much it is right now. So that's why like the gloves are a little harder to recommend, because you can't get Empower in as easily anymore. So let's see, where is... I just have so many searches going on. Prism Guardian. And let's see how much the level 23 Grace shield is. I'm pretty much sorted by this because I know that level 23 Grace is going to be extremely expensive. Let's sort it by this. Oh, there's one for 17 Exalts. So I guess it's getting a little better. Like, honestly, this corruption is not that rare, so these people are crazy that are trying to sell for this much. This is actually a pretty reasonable price, and I might actually buy it after I finish this video. Or maybe not, but we'll see. But anyhow, so that's what I would focus on upgrading first. Hands of the High Templar, and getting your crit multi-jewels. You can get single multi ones like I've talked about in the past, like this. And trying to craft a helm ASAP because of how cheap Awakener's orbs and Maven's orbs are. And try to keep a lookout if you can on trying to get aura, a skill implicit on Call of the Brotherhoods and Prism Guardians if possible. It's very vital in the future to put Empower in or have another gem socket. But have some live searches going out. You can use the searches that I have saved on the side in order to help you out. But that's what I would advise for upgrade paths. We're gonna play some quick highlights. Talking about Ultimatum League, I finally got a good Ultimatum reward. I almost failed it, so you can see it was 4 Exalts. I also fought the Trialmaster of Winter Orb, so that's pretty cool. And I'll include a little bonus clip of the end of the stream when we did a gambling session and to see what if I would get an Awaken gem, and it turns out to be pretty good. You can see the Awaken gem I got, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Is this? Whoa! What the fuck?
Vengeance is
I guess Ultimate is not too bad. Need to survive and get out of here. Oh no, I'm at 6 ruin. No!
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
Dude, get me out of here. Oh my god, I almost failed. I didn't even notice I was at 6 ruin. Oh my goodness. I guess Ultimatum's not too bad. Just guessing, I throw my smoke mine and I try to guess which way he should aim it at, but obviously it's getting lucky. He should be dead here. A Gemini's Era, how much is this? 4.
ruin seeks you.
Wait, what? This is the reward I get? Oh no, ultimate test for Winter Orb. Oh no, I just got fucking ruined. I don't understand this fight. Like, is he trying to like exsanguinate me or something? Guess he is.
Chaos aids me. Take it. Go ahead. Ultimatum.
That's why he has ZDPS. Well, it seems like Winter Orb can kill the Trialmaster. Pretty insane, honestly.
And my service, you emerge victorious no more.
Wait, what? The fight's not over? Okay. So anyhow, everyone, I hope that everyone enjoyed the video with the gear overview and about what skill you should use and how you should upgrade your character. The coming days, I'll probably do a few more videos where I try to go over people's PoE Ninja just to see, like, illustrate some of the differences between the profiles, because there's a lot of people who use different things. Like, this guy's using a synthesized helm with 15% increased effect of non-curse auras. There's some people are using Glorious Vanity. So that's like the nice thing about this build. What's the Glorious Vanity at right now? Not many people are using Glorious Vanities even yet, because it's pretty low on here. So that's the nice thing about this build. You can choose your own path a lot of times, but there is probably a best overall path to choose, and I'm going to try to help you guys achieve it for your build. And you can go along watching me and seeing how I do it. But anyhow, I stream every day on Twitch. I'll be streaming shortly after this video is posted, and you can find me on there. You can ask me questions or ask me to look over your POB if I have the time. But we'll be doing some more gambling on stream today to craft a helm, so I look forward to it. But yeah, everyone, thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you find more meters and exalts than I do, and see you next time.